Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing chapter 12, verse 18, and 18 and 19 are merged by both of them, but I'm going to do 18 and 19 separately. I'll just do this. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's, there's a lecture I was listening to about Chaitanya Charitamrita. Basically, he has just in his playlist on his YouTube channel, there is one playlist with Chaitanya Charitamrita with just two videos. So I was watching one of those videos, and he had said something very interesting in that, which I'm going to talk about, where God talks about his purpose of coming on earth. Very beautiful. Okay, so let's do our prayer and then we'll sing the verse together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Krishna, thank you so much for giving us the Bhagavad Gita, and especially this chapter and all of these chapters all of these verses that talk about bhakti and so clearly say that bhakti is the path to you. Thank you so much for giving us this desire to read this Gita and to read these verses and to hear about them. Thank you so much for giving us so many amazing resources on the internet and in person. Thank you so much for giving us access to these ISKCON temples where we can go and we have a very clear path. We get to understand that our path, our goal is Krishna Prem, where we get to understand how to get Krishna Prem, and all the resources are provided to us. Everything is just easy. We just have to drag ourselves to the temple, listen to lectures, do service, do worship there, do kirtans, and that's it. We just have to, we're given the path and everything is there for free. Not only is it there for free, we go there and we get prasad for free. Thank you so much for giving us so many resources. It's not easy to attain Krishna Prem, but we have all the resources available to help us on that journey. So the only thing blocking us is just us, and everything else is available. And just a few years ago, 1960s, before 1960s, nobody even knew about this. So thank you so much for giving us all of this information, with sending Prabhupada, who made it so easy for us to know, to understand that our goal of life is Krishna Prem. Because otherwise we were going to the temple and we were just asking, Bhagwan, please take us some reactions from our karma, please help us lead good lives. Om Jai Jagadish Hare, we're asking for, riches and wealth and all of that. But now we understand that our clear goal is Krishna Prem, and we understand the path towards it, and it's just so amazing. Thank you so much. And please help us use this verse, these words of yours, these beautiful words of yours, to help us become closer to you. Okay, and sing the verse together. Let me not forget the screen share. Okay. So we'll sing 12:18. समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः. Okay, so I'm going to read the first part, which is up to here, and then the very last thing, just so that it completes. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, and who is always free from contaminating association. This is where we read until. And the last part is, such a person is very dear to me. So now we will go through the thing, but this is also very easy to understand if you understand Hindi. Sama is equal, Shatru, enemy, Mitra, friend. So equal to friend and enemy. Also Man, Apman, honor and dishonor, also Hindi. Sheet and Ushna, cold and heat, sukha and dukha, happiness and distress, equal in summer, happiness and distress, sangha vivarjitaha, free from all association, free from all bad association, contaminating association. Both of them have said bad association, not free. We need association, we need good association. Um, so yeah, and then so let's go to this one. Alike to friend and foe. So there was a story where Prahlad Maharaj and his son, Prahlad Maharaj's son Virochan, got into an argument with his guru's son Sudhanva, and they were like, "I am superior to you," blah blah blah. They were laying a bet that if whoever is superior, the other person has to die. So anyway, so the Rishi's son, so Sudhanva, said, "Your father," to Prahlad, with Prahlad's son Virochan, "your father should be the one who makes this decision." And Prahlad's son was like, "But it's my father. Won't you say that he's biased?" And so the Guru's son was like, "No, he's not biased. He's the most fair person. So let's go to your father." So they went to the father, and the father said that the Guru's son is superior because he's a Guru's son. I mean, so then the thing was like, okay, he has to die now, right? Like his own son has to die. So he just said to the soldiers, take my son to the gallows, like just like that, he, without flinching, he just said, take my son to the gallows and hang him. I'm like, whoa, okay. And then the Rishi's son said, am I superior to you? I mean, to Prahlad Maharaj. Though he said, yeah, you're my guru's son. So I have been born in a family of demons. You're a son of a rishi who's also my guru, since you're superior. So then he asked, will you obey my instructions? And he said, yes. So he said, leave him. And then Prahlad said, with the same unemotional thing, leave him, take him, whatever. Leave him in the same manner that he had said, take him to the gallows. So that's how a person is, I mean, it's his own son, but he's not flinching. He's just like, okay, I mean, he's like, equal to friend and foe, alike to friend and foe. It's a crazy story. Wow. Equipoised in honor and dishonor. Yeah. Alike in cold and heat, joy and sorrow. I mean, you can, this is something that I've wondered a lot. Like, why doesn't Krishna take away the troubles of his disciples? So Ramakrishna Paramhans had cancer, and people asked him to pray to cure him. And he's like, no, my mind is absorbed in love for Mother Kali. Why should I take it off from her and apply it to this dirty bodily cancer? Whatever God has willed, let it happen. So a lot of people, right? A lot of people just don't seem to care if they fall ill. They're just like, okay, whatever. I don't know how that works. It's insane. I beg Bhagwan Shri Krishna for all kinds of things. I'm nowhere close. But my goal is Krishna Prem. My goal is to get there, but right now I'm nowhere close to that. Okay, free from unfavorable association. That unfavorable is important. Association with persons is called sang. Kusang is bad sang. Satsang is good sang. So you want good sang, good association. Take praise and reproach alike. This one is something I've been thinking about a lot. So when somebody says something to us, the person is saying something to us. We are feeling bad because we are afraid. If somebody says to me, you're fat, and I would be like, okay, I know that I'm not. It wouldn't bother me at all. The person can say whatever they want. I mean, it's just not. But if the person says something else that I have some little fear of, then I will take offense. But why am I taking offense? I'm taking offense because I'm saying you are supposed to make me feel better about myself. You are the one who dictates how I feel about myself. You dictate whether I feel worthy or not. You dictate whether and if I don't feel worthy, then I'm not going to be loved. So ultimately, it all comes to that. I'm not going to be loved. So we're constantly trying to prove our worth. We're constantly trying to look good because we want to be loved. And that is because we don't have that clear love from God right now. We don't have this very clear association. There's this like downpour. We do have the downpouring of love from God onto us, but we're not able to access it. God always loves us. This is just like torrential rains of love that He's pouring onto us, but we're not able to see it or access it or feel it. It's just like, with all of our anarthas, 30 miles of anarthas, it's just um, like a water droplets on a lotus flower, right? It just dissipates. It doesn't get absorbed. So we're not able to absorb that love. And once we're able to absorb that love, once we're able to really understand, then whatever people say doesn't matter. It's really not going to matter. If they give praise or not, it doesn't matter at all. And if it matters, it's because we have an ego and we still have work to do to get to this place of humility. And what we can do is, if somebody is saying all of these things, we should be praying. Anytime somebody is saying praise to us, we should be saying Krishna, and if we feel good, we should be saying, Krishna Bhagwan, please help me feel humility and please help me feel sama, like equal to the praise. Or if somebody gives reproach, then we can say, Krishna Bhagwan, please help me feel confident in your love so that this reproach does not affect me. If I'm feeling, I think Prabhupada was the one who wrote it, whether he may live under a tree or may live in a palatial building, he's attracted to neither. So, if we find a palatial building, we can pray to Krishna Bhagavan, both good and bad. This is the most important thing, both good and bad. So we can pray, please help me feel equipoised towards this thing. Please help me focus all of my things. So I want to say this thing that I came up with, this prayer, which was really, really good. I'm going to say it. I'm going to look for it one moment. Please help me remove everyone and everything else from my consciousness. Please help me have only you. Krishna or Radha Krishna or your pure devotees. Krishna, please help me remove everyone and everything else from my consciousness. Please help me have only you and everything that can get me closer to you. I think I just improved it right now. Help me have only you, because we do need association. Help me have only you and everyone who will help me get closer to you. So that, we can keep praying that, like, I want to have nothing else in my consciousness but you. That's it. So we can pray for all of these things, all of these. I think I should do that. I should do a compilation at the end of this chapter, which is almost over. I should do a compilation of all these things so that we can pray for each one of these things. Every day if we do this prayer, it'll take about 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. That please help me not feel attracted towards things that are supposed to make me attracted, and please help me not feel that raga and dvesh, right? Please help me not feel raga and please help me not feel dvesh or sadness or whatever, if I'm like living under a tree, that kind of thing. Okay. And then the intellect is firmly fixed on me. The last part, I'm going to skip the middle part. They have deep conviction in the supremacy of God's position and their eternal relationship with Him. I love this, eternal. And they're firm in their faith that if they surrender to Him lovingly, they will achieve the highest realization. Therefore, they neither wander from attraction to attraction or path to path. Krishna declares such resolute devotees to be very dear to Him. It's beautiful, right? Beautiful, beautiful. Love this commentary. Okay. So let me talk about the 4-9. This is what I wanted. So Chaitanya Charan Prabhu in this, he had said in his Chaitanya Charitamrita playlist on his YouTube channel with 2 videos, he said that there are 2 reasons that God comes on earth, that Krishna comes on earth. One is yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam dharmasans paritranaya sadhunam. This is something that we all know, I guess, mostly. Wait, what? Vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sanstapnaya sanbhavami yuge yuge. Okay, so this is saying that I come to establish dharma whenever dharma is gone, because the world works in cycles, right? It's cyclical. So he will come, God will come, he will establish dharma. Over time, it will, because time is, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu had said this, time is the, I'm forgetting the words that he used, but it's like, it will destroy all at the end of the day. So he will come again. So that is one reason that Krishna came. So when he came 5,000 years ago, that is why he came. The second reason is in 4.9, which was like quite a surprise to me. I was like, whoa, okay, really? So what this is one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving my body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjun. So, and then he also mentioned there was a Kunti prayer that explained that also, and he gave the actual details, I think, in the Bhagavatam of where that is, but I don't remember, I don't know. So, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities gets moksha, basically liberation, and attains my eternal abode. So, this means what he's saying is that the second reason that Krishna comes on earth is to instill bhakti in people's hearts. So he was saying the first reason is based on time. When the world has forgotten Krishna, then he will come to, or dharma, he will come to establish dharma. And then the second thing is timeless. It can happen at any time. It doesn't depend on a particular time. Right? He just comes to instill Krishna Prem in people's hearts. He comes to instill love in people's hearts. So that's when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago to instill love in people's hearts. And that playlist is amazing also. That is just so good to explain, because I haven't really understood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very much. I didn't connect with him very much. So this playlist really helped me understand. It's just 2 videos, right? It's not very long, but it really helped me understand. So it was wonderful. Okay, that's it for this video. We'll do 12:19 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with lots and lots and lots of grace from Bhagwan Shri Krishna, and lots of spiritual growth, and lots of Krishna Prem, lots of humility, real humility that leads to real love. Love for Krishna Bhagwan and love for all your fellow human beings. Wish that when you look at them, you feel so good about yourself, and you feel so loved that your compassion is flowing and pouring out to people around you, so that you can give love instead of needing love from them, so that you can feel good about yourself. You can just pour love onto them and make them feel good about themselves. Radhe Radhe.